Hey fans, this is Roger. Thanks for tuning in to my live reaction show to my brother Greg's rant that he went on YouTube. Every side has its story, so I'm going to give you mine. Alright fans, about 2 years ago, me and Greg started a show of Roger and Greg Sports Talk, as you see the sign behind me. It was going pretty well. Everything was really clicking. We were getting a lot of good ratings. We were getting good likes and good shares. We had our website still, and it, we were doing at least like 14 shows we had up on YouTube. And Greg wanted to take some time off, which I agreed to. But when it was actually time to like restart up, Greg was kind of like, I don't want to do it anymore. So that was all fine and dandy. You know, I was still in New York. We were still hanging out and everything. We had more to do besides our idea, and so we just stopped doing it. And then just recently, this year, maybe it was like a year ago, we picked it. We started back up, and we were we started up. We did a few videos, and Greg seemed like what do I want to say? Greg wanting control. Once we started the show back up and going again, it's like all the progress that we have made just went out the window. And Greg doesn't understand why. Well, I'll tell you, Greg, we stopped doing the show for almost a year. We took a year off, which, if we were recognized and if we were known, that would be okay. You just advertise and say, hey, we'll be back on such and such date, and just go with it. But we were still establishing ourselves. We were still to the point where we were building a reputation and building a name for ourselves. And we just stopped. And all that progress that we have made just is gone. People think we're unreliable. The fans think we're unreliable. The fans are like, oh, we're like a one-hit wonder maybe if you were the refer to music. So so now we have all this progress gone. So we try to start up again from the bottom and work our way to the top. And Greg doesn't see any progress. Greg wants the show to grow at a rapid rate to where we're going to be huge overnight. And it doesn't work like that, especially when you stop doing it over a year. If we were to do it for that year straight, maybe it would have been different. Maybe it would have been a lot easier to get known and to get more exposed. So leads me now to the beef. Greg and I, started up again. We were doing shows. Me and Greg could like never ever agree with anything. Greg had ideas. I had ideas. Well, I had ideas, but they never came to the table because Greg always squashed them. Greg was always telling me basically my ideas suck and, oh, do it this way, act this way, act a certain way on camera. And it really made me feel like I wasn't important. It made me feel like that. It made me feel like it was just his show and I was just helping him out, as with the editing and just being on the show itself. And that really bothered me. It really bothered me a lot. And there's a couple times I stood up for myself. And whenever you stand up or question Greg, that's a big no-no because Greg will just go ape shit on you. And if you ask anybody who knows him, I'm pretty sure they'll agree with me. So Greg just spazzes out all the time, and he doesn't stop to think of how his actions is affecting other people around him, especially me. And me and Greg's always been close, and we've always had like little fights and everything, but I would have to say this has been our biggest problem throughout our lives. Um, and it seems like he doesn't respect me anymore, which he came online on YouTube and he clearly says, I lost all respect for you because of all the issues that we've been having. So Greg finally quit the show, came back on track. Greg quit the show once again, and this is how it happened, fans. I went on to the Roger and Greg Sports Talk Facebook page, and I let you fans know. I said, hey, Greg quit the show. Greg didn't want to do it anymore, so I'm going to be doing my own show, and I gave you guys an explanation. I was probably a little heated. I probably used a few words like, he was a bitch, he quit on me, he quit on you fans, and, stuff like that. Um, so Greg got upset that I did that. I guess he wanted to keep it a secret. I guess he just wanted the fans to realize that Greg faded off away or something like that, and he just not waste his time anymore with it. So, but you fans deserve an explanation if you have changes coming onto a show. That's like with any show, all right? And with anything that anybody does, if you're in a business, if you're in any kind of thing where it involves somebody quitting, you got to let somebody know. And all I did was let you fans know that Greg quit the show. So Greg got really hostile about it. He came online, started bad mouthing me, started bad mouthing the show, and I got offended. I was very upset about it, and it hurt. It hurt really bad. And not to mention that I recently moved away from Greg, and I'm nearly 1,000 miles away from Greg, and I know that's bothering him, and I know it hurts. I mean, I regret it too. I wish I was still around. I wish we could still have a better relationship. That bond that was like glue, and we really were close. But ever since I moved, it seems like everything was different. It seemed like Greg could care too less about me. So like I said, Greg was going on the Facebook page and he was just bad mouthing me. He was bad mouthing the show. So, like I said, I got offended. I was upset, and I go on there and I retaliated. Um, I'm sure I said some things that were out of line, which I admit they were. But Greg just knows how to push your buttons. Greg just knows how to hurt people, and he knows how to hurt me a lot. And it's been like that a good portion of our lives. And Greg knew this is all we had left. Roger and Greg Sports Talk, that was pretty much it. I mean, even if I called him to talk and say, hey, what's up, I mean, it would only be like a 3 or 4 minute conversation unless unless he called me himself. But, and it's not like he's busy because the only thing, when he gets home, is just watches sports and does absolutely nothing and just, does his own business, whatever he does at his house. But, in 3 or 4 minutes, that just sounds like somebody who doesn't want to be bothered by someone else. That's just my opinion, though. So afterwards, everything calmed down on our Facebook page. After heated confrontations, heated texts, and then I went on to a show. After I retaliated already, I went on to the show of mine I did, and I publicly told the fans again that Greg quit in a video this time in one of my shows. I put up a picture of Greg saying he was a bitch, that he quit. That was probably wrong, but it was out of a heated confrontation. It was out of retaliation. Greg calls me pinhead. Greg calls me shit that's hurtful, and I think a little bitch fucking word wouldn't be too bad considering all the shit he's always done. So I always called him a jackass. I put a picture of a donkey up there saying that's Greg talking sports. Well, if Greg, you knew anything, you know that we were looking for ratings, and that right there, that donkey scene and everything on the video, that was just for like shits and giggles. That was just for ratings. It was supposed to be humorous. All right, and yeah, I could see how you would take an offense because it's about you, but you don't care about me when you come on and call me pinhead and retard and shit, and I don't have the skills to run a show and everything. So Why should I care about your feelings when you're sitting there and talking shit about me behind my back and talking shit about me over Facebook? Anybody in this world, if you talk shit about that person, they're gonna retaliate. They're gonna say shit about you just as back, just as much. All right. So what's next? So much shit has gone on, fans. So after I done that show, me and Greg once again stopped talking for like a month, maybe even if a month. So afterwards, Greg finally calls me, and here I'm thinking we're on good terms. We wanted to do like a show together. It's kind of like a debate, like how the presidential debate was, to state your case of why and how all the beef started. Daddy. How? Excuse me, that's my kids. All right. How all the beef started, and we were gonna let you fans determine who was right and who was wrong. So Greg didn't want to do that. Greg, we were on the same page at once, for once, and Greg turns around and like changes his mind and does his own reaction show on YouTube and basically trashing me once again instead of keeping it to the facts, keeping it straight, and he just started it over again. He came, so I went to go like promote the video, promote the show of us debating and arguing over our show. So I post a little bit of fire on it to add the fuel, which I told him. If you look on Roger Greg Sports Talk page, Facebook page, you'll see Greg came out of hiding and he wants to do a show. That was for ratings. That was for the boost the show back up, to add fuel to the fire, so to speak. But Greg takes it personally after I tell him what I'm doing. You know what it is? I called him one day, and he was at his friend's house. And once they heard that I was on the phone, this is how I think it went down. Greg picked up, started acting all buff and all cool in front of his friends, and I can hear his friends talking in the background because they were like, "Oh, is that your brother who did that show against you on YouTube and Facebook?" And Greg said yes. And they all start bursting out laughing. So that, I bet his friends said, "Oh, start talking to him again. Ease the blow a little bit. Start talking, stir up a little heat, and then do your own reaction show and just trash him online." So I think that went to Greg's head. I think that's what he did. And then he deliberately went behind my back to do his own thing in a fucked up manner. So he's the one who made that personal once again. The same way he made it personal 2 years ago. The same way he's made it personal since we started doing our show again within this year. And now he made it personal now. And he's still making it personal. Okay? So, Greg, you made this personally. You want to call me names. You want to go online and bash me. And you started the beef. Fans, just think about the whole situation. You've heard Greg's side of the story, and now you're hearing mine. Okay? Just take a moment. Please like and share and comment to let us know what you think. Okay? Because your thought and your comments are important. And it will show either myself or it will show Greg that one of us is the wrongdoing. Okay? So we've already heard from our sister, but she hasn't heard the two sides. So this is my for my sister, this is ours. This is my side right here. So just watch them both again. Watch this show and basically just take a minute and think. And then say to yourself, "Hey, Roger was wrong. Greg was wrong. And vote. Greg, let's have a vote. Let's put it on Facebook. Who was wrong in this situation? Who started the beef? And if it's me personally, if I can get enough people to outvote my side, I will do a public apology right here on Facebook. Greg, if you want to get people to do it, fine, go ahead. But it's not going to be biased. They're not going to do it because you told them to do it and they're your friends. Of course they're gonna pick you. I need people to actually sit, watch the videos, and vote and comment. I will put up something where it shows like a post and it shows like a voting line, and you just comment your choice. For Greg, A. For me, myself, B. You just click the one, comment the one you think who started the beef. Alright, Greg, I love you. You're my brother. Still got much respect for you. I've never lost respect for you once, like you said about me. It's just hard to comprehend and hard to face the fact that we don't talk because we've been very close. I've done a lot for you, and you've done a lot for me. And this matter, I do want to get put to rest, but it just seems like every time I try to talk to you, you can't. It doesn't go through to you. It seems like you've changed, and you changed toward me, which is understandable. We both said some hurtful things, and if it's a public apology that you want, and if I'm proven wrong, like I said before, we're going to vote, then I'll do it. But I expect you, I would hope that you would do it too, a public apology if you're the one who ends up coming up wrong. Because regardless if it's just a video or you commenting on a post, it's still public. So you'll see this reaction. Vans, you'll see. You're seeing it right now. So just vote, guys. That's what I'm saying. Please, let's end this beef. We don't have to go back, Greg. We don't have to go back and do Roger and Greg Sports Talk. I'm fine doing my own show, and it's clear you're fine doing your own. So just let's do this. Let's get this done. Let's end this chapter in our lives and either move on and talk again and have a good relationship, or just let it be. We don't have to talk. We don't have to. I just want this beef. I just want this problem that we're having over with. It'll be good for you. It'll be good for me because I'm too busy in my life to have this kind of drama, and I have better things to do with my life. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate your time. Just please, like I said, vote, comment, and leave your comments below who you think who's at fault at this situation, and just please let's end this. I'm asking my friends, I'm asking the people, please vote. You can vote. We're gonna have a poll up on Roger and Greg Sports Talk page, and just let's end this. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it, guys. I hope you like the show that I brought to you with Kyle Hawk last night with that special interview. A special thanks to Kyle Hawk again. Fans, you're great. Really appreciate you. Thanks. Till next time. Peace.